What's up, you guys? I'm here at Team Symmetry, here to bring you guys another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! And long-awaited time to talk about Six Samurais is here. This is not a deck profile. A lot of people always think that these are deck profiles. These are not. These are just decks that I have built here on Dueling Network. I rarely play on Dueling Network, but they're here just for these segments, just so that you guys get the basic ideas. So really pay no attention to like my weird side deck and main deck. Like it's pretty standard. I just go off of the OCG and just add a couple things. But we're here to talk about Six Samurais because I've gotten a lot of requests for this deck, and I guess the reason is that a lot of people still like Six Samurais, and the fact that the deck is still doing well in the OCG has probably piqued a lot of people's interest. So I'm gonna go over what I feel is what's good about it, what's bad about it, and then like of course you guys already know the broken combos with the deck, but I think what's really good about this deck is that it does have the ability to still make a turn one Shein, and I feel a turn one Shein is very powerful, regardless of what the format calls for. I feel Shein, Beast, or Barkian are just really broken to be able to make on turn one, because even when this deck first came out, it was really hard for the opponent to stop a turn one Shein with back row. Like if you had this and you had Magatama, you pretty much like were winning that game because they couldn't kill Shein, and you just had negations for Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, which is just like ridiculous. Like I felt that the deck was just still was very solid, and I ran the deck even after the Mighty Gateway went to 1. And the thing is that the deck is still playable. Like, what makes the deck broken when we get to what's the Yu-Gi-Oh part is obviously this card. Gateway is broken because it just like it pretty much is almost like an auto win unless you're playing against a deck like Agents or a deck that just drops big beaters and doesn't really have that many spells or traps. But I feel that what makes the deck good also is that there's a lot of synergy with these monsters. You're able to special Elder, special Grandmaster, Kageki and Kagamusha do what they do. You're able to special Kazan at will. And I think what also made the deck really good was this card, Asceticism of the Sixth Samurai. This card works really well with just pretty much every monster in the deck. You know, you have Elder, which works for Kagamusha. You have let's see here. You've got Inishi working for Iroh, or Iroh working for Inishi. You have, I'm trying to remember. Oh, you have Kizan working with Zanji. Like, there's a lot of synergy between these monsters. I feel that that's what makes them really consistent, is that you have the proper targets. You run only 14, 15 monsters depending on your playstyle, and you have the ability to at will summon the monsters you need. And it's not only that, is now that this deck has the ability to bust out multiple rank level 4s, you're able to make the turn 1 Shockmaster quite quickly. Like as quickly as windups make it, you're able to make it. And Shockmaster, of course, is devastating. If you're going by the philosophy that windups do, Magician, Shark, Shockmaster, set, call spells, GG, you can do the same thing with Six Samurais. You can make a Shockmaster. You might even be able to drop Shein in the process and have a Shein, a Shockmaster, back row, call spells or whatever, and you basically win the game. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that this deck can pull off a turn 1 Shockmaster, but a lot of decks can. I feel that this is one of the decks that does it the best. I feel that Asceticism really added to the consistency of the deck. Other things that are good about this deck is that you do have 3 Rotas. Smoke Signal go into 2. You have 2 Smoke Signals and a Rota. So that's 3 basically reinforcements of the armies for this deck. So that's really solid. It's thins your deck. It's consistent. Like you'll usually open with 1. So consistency is pretty good. 3 United obviously is just ridiculous. You know, Pot of Greeds. 3 of them. That's like 6 cards. That's ridiculous. So obviously those cards go together. They don't need any explanation. Another, I think my favorite card that has always been in Six Samurai is Double-Edged Sword Technique. Now, a lot of people are not a fan of this card. I know some people run 1, some people run none. I like 2. The only reason I like 2 is that you can combo this so nicely with Shein. You can have Shein, and then your next turn you can basically call stuff back, make a beast, make a Barkian, whatever, and you basically just win the game from there. And I feel that that's what makes the deck busted. Plus, you can use Double Edge to bring back 2 other Samurais, summon another one, and make a Shockmaster. Like the ability to make Shockmaster is so easy in this deck, and not only that, you can set up for your OTK plays with the Blade Armors and Excalibur. Like I only have 1 Excalibur in here just because the room was kind of I didn't have enough space for everything, but I feel that these cards add the OTK potential to this deck because you drop a 2500 Shein, use Double Edge, make a 4000 beater, that's 65, drop a couple Kizans, that's game. Like it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. The power of the deck is just really astonishing, and this new XYZ, the Shadow of the Six Samurai, works really well with Kageki, because Kageki I believe goes to 3,500. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean that's pretty intense. And if you have back row to protect it, you're in a pretty good position. I feel the deck still has a lot of potential, so that's what feels good about it. There's a lot of consistency. There's a lot of combos. The monsters combo off each other, and there's just a lot of control with Shein, Beast, Barkian, whatever you decide to make, Shockmaster, Blade Armor, and Excalibur there for OTKs. Now, what's bad about the deck? What's bad about this deck is that a lot of people are running heavy monster decks like Chaos Dragons, decks like Agents, just completely annihilate this deck. And the reason is that if you're making a turn one Shein and you don't really have that much protective back row, there's not much that's going to stop them from going turn one Hyperion. Like they can summon Earth, get a Venus, banish the Earth, summon Hyperion, and you basically just like win. Like you run over Shein and it's like, okay, what do I do now? I feel that's one thing that makes a deck bad. Also, you can draw like clumpy hands where like you don't have like that many plays or you don't have an asceticism. So I mean that could be a problem. I would say other things that hurt the deck are Effect Veiler, Max C, obviously, they hurt the deck. And, just standard stuff hurts the deck. Every deck, like I've said in my previous videos, has the potential to do well this format. It just all depends on, are you making the right build? Are you making the right side deck calls? Like, if you guys look at my side deck is really, really weird. I put hand traps in here just because I like hand traps. They have to either be in the main deck or side deck for me just because, like, you need them against, like, windups and stuff like that. Cyber Dragons are for Gear Gia, heroes, random crap. D-Fissure works really well with the decks. I mean, that's another thing. Only 2 Typhoon. There's none in the main. You don't really need them. I think Rivalry also makes the deck busted because you run all Warriors. So basically you just side 3 Rivalries in. And decks like Wind Up, decks like not Rabbit, but decks like Wind Up, decks that run different types really get hurt. And this just like protects your plays. It just makes your plays a lot more solid. And Shadow Mirrors are there just for, Inzectors. But I feel that the deck is... it's solid. It does have its flaws. Like I said, you can draw really clumpy hands. You can get Veilered. You can get Max Seed. And you can run into a Gorge or something, and you might not have the warning or something to negate it. So, you kind of take a gamble with the deck. I feel that not only that, but I mean, if you make Beast is not that strong, to be honest. 2200 is not that hard to get over. And if you're playing against a deck like Trapless Agents, like Simon's deck, you're going to run into problems where they're just going to run over the monster like effortlessly. Like, I mean, you can go Venus, drop the 3 Shine Balls, make a Dark Mist, and you run over Beast, Bart. You run over everything, like literally. Like that card's amazing. I feel that that's where the deck could have a couple flaws. But I mean, aside from that, the deck is still solid. I have nothing against Six Samurais. They're just really not my playstyle this format. I feel that there are better decks that have more control. I mean, the deck is really good, but I mean, I don't even have my Six Samurai stuff anymore, which is kind of sad. But I really do like the deck. Yaichi was one of my favorite cards. That's why this is in here. This was a card that me and my friends used to use when we ran Six Samurai. We were all running Six Samurai, and Yaichi was our tech card because a lot of people didn't think about it. This card was really good for popping stuff, so I really like this card. Since you could destroy a set card, so Yaichi, because it got around bottomless, you could pop bottomless, you could pop Deep Prison before you attack. It worked really good. It had a lot of good synergy with the deck, and I feel that that's what makes the deck really, really good. Aside from that, I guess like the Yu-Gi-Oh part of this is that Gateway is the nuts. Like literally, you open Gateway United, I think you win because unless you're playing, like I said, against a deck that's heavy monsters, it's very hard for the opponent to counter that much advantage. Like you drop so much advantage on the field. You can make Shein, Shockmaster, Beast, Barkian. I don't even know like how many combos there are, but you can basically end with like an unbreakable field, and no matter what your opponent plays, you're gonna have outs to it. So I feel that that's what makes this deck at times broken. But let me know what you guys think. I'm glad that I could do this for you guys. I have not, like I said, ran Sams in a really long time, so to revisit the deck is really cool. I feel the deck will do well in the future. It just depends, how the format plays out. Like I said, with a lot of big decks, big monsters around, the deck can have trouble. But if you pack the right traps like Bottomless, Deep Prison, you can get around cards like that. So I feel the deck does have potential. And I feel that Gateway will always be a really good opener. Like you can't deny that your opponent opened Gateway. Okay, that's pretty much almost game. So I feel that that really adds a lot of synergy to the deck itself. But let me know in your comments below. Thumbs up this video, 150, 200 plus likes. We'll be doing the next episode most likely on Heroes. My plans are to do Heroes, Gravekeepers, Prophecies, all these other decks. Prophecy is going to take me a while because I don't even know how to use the deck, so I have to do some research. But I feel that this deck is still solid, and that people that want to run it, it's not bad for a tier 2 deck or whatever you want to call it. And I feel that it has a lot more potential in the future. So just comment below with your thoughts. if you know all the broken combos with Gateway, if there's a way to make a Shockmaster, Sheehan, Beast, Barky, and all in one turn, let me know. I'd kind of like to know. I think that's like the nuts. Like literally, that is the most broken field you could possibly ever have. It's like unbreakable. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up this video, and if you want to see Heroes or Gravekeepers next, let me know. I'll do whatever one gets the most comments or the most feedback here or on Facebook. So just let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you for watching.